There's Hartill, the fly half for Japan, their goal kicker this afternoon, a man who's shown very good footwork, Mark Ella.
Yeah, a couple of times against the English team he sliced straight through, and a very talented runner and a big kicker of the ball.
And what a moment for Simon Poitevin, breaking the Australian record this afternoon, surpassing the former Randwick hooker Peter Johnson. Poitevin playing his 43rd international and also afforded the ultimate honour of leading his country this afternoon. Referee is Mr. Jim Fleming from Scotland, assisted by Brian Addison and Mr. McNeil. The match is underway and Japan goes deep. David Campese at fullback this afternoon with the first touch of the game. And a promising start too by Campese, gaining 45 metres.
Well, it's important for not only Campese but the whole Australian backline that they really get things right against the Japanese today.
Hayashi winning very cleverly at the front of the line out. Hartill. Huge torpedo punt kick. Nofumuli coming through on Campese. And what a lovely bounce. That's the Campese leg break.
Well, I hope the Japanese kick to him all day. David really needs to feel the ball in his hands, whether he's running or kicking.
Cutler got a hand to it. Smith in bother. And Australia there jumping over the top. Simon Poitevin penalised. So now Japan attempting first points in this game. And it's Okidoi who's going to be the goal kicker. He's one of 9 changes in the Japanese side this afternoon. The Japanese goal kicking has been a nightmare. But it looks as though they've done the practice and their homework.
What a magnificent start for the Japanese. Okidoi, really, we haven't seen much of him so far in this tournament. Put it straight between the posts.
What a fillip for the Japanese team. First points against the men in gold after only 2 minutes of play. Michael Lynagh. Irau underneath. And it's been a mistake-free start by the Japanese. 5 metres from the halfway line.
7A. 2 hands. Drive it.
Mark McBain also playing in his first World Cup game this afternoon. Latu won it well. And the Japanese looking for touch on the far side.
Well, the Japanese are not going to try and run the ball at the Australians straight away. They're going to just try and settle play down and turn the green and goals around.
Kutsuki's kick gained nearly 40 metres.
2 hands, set and drive.
17 metres out from the Australian goal line. Poitevin and Miyamoto opposed at the back. Smith recovers well.
Well, again, Australia have got to control all phases of this game, and we just can't afford to let the ball bounce like it did then.
Come in.
Long throw. Look at Japan come through. But the referee ruled the ball wasn't straight. No advantage there for the Australians, and a nasty knock for Eiji Kutsuki.
I think he's just a little bit winded. He caught that long throw on the full and ran straight into Michael Cook. We'll just see there, just Michael Cook, hit him underneath the ribs, and I don't think there's any damage apart from a wind.
Yes, the Toyota man has temporarily run out of gas. He works for the Toyota factory in Japan. His 8th cap this afternoon.
Well, the Japanese trainer, is feeling around the rib area. Maybe he did do a little bit more damage than I first anticipated.
Mr. Miyagi on the left, the Japanese coach. Shigi Kono, chairman of the Japanese Rugby Union, on his left.
Well, that's a new technique.
He looks $1 million, doesn't he?
Yep, must have done him a world of good.
Mr. Jim Fleming in charge this afternoon as Campese really pumps that one upfield. Not in touch, but only Mukai back there. Campese again. Fujita the hooker across. This is Rodriguez. Oh! Topo. Cutler mauling the ball back. Brian Smith calling for it. 10-metre line. Hayashi pushed out of the way by Smith. That was quite amusing there as the Japanese player ran into Topo and bounced off like a rubber ball. 5 metres from the halfway line. Mr. Fleming created a fine impression when refereeing the international between Australia and Argentina last year at the SCG. Japan offside. Referee plays advantage. Campese. Peter Grigg's with him. And now we come back for the penalty. Andrew Slack looking to play on Brian Smith. Popping the ball into space. Nofamuli's back there, but this is Mukai, the fullback. Mukai has taken over from Murai. It's Hayashi, number 2 in the line-out. Cutler doing well. Lynagh. Very good kick by Lynagh. Nofamuli underneath. And paid the mark.
Well, that was very good shepherding by the Japanese players. When Lynagh put that ball up, they virtually just got in the way of the Australian players, and Mokamuli took it without any hindrance.
Nofamuli just tapping it, and they're going to run it, Japan. And there's an overlap. Look at this. Tremendous speed from the Japanese. That's Miyamoto. Play on. Let the ball travel forward, and the Australians caught by surprise.
Well, I suppose the Japanese know that this is their last game in the tournament. They've really got to throw the ball around and probably enjoy themselves and really throw everything at Australia.
Yes, it was their hands and their passing which let them down against England, but so far they've been very impressive in that area. Australia not able to move the Japanese scrum. Smith chipping over the top. Nice work here by Okidoi. Burke across. It'll beat everyone. Well, this looks a very different Japanese team to the one that succumbed to England on the weekend.
Well, maybe that 3 points in the first couple of minutes done amazing things for their confidence, and they're going to try everything.
Good take by Cutler with 2 hands. Well, Steve Cutler looking to have a big game this afternoon because there's plenty of competition now for the second row spot, with Troy Coker really coming to the fore with some strong performances, particularly in that second row. Here's Campese. Straight over halfway. Campese going well. Peter Grigg. Cook. Australia looking dangerous here. Michael Cook for the line. Andrew Slack. Try. Well, Campese electric. Mark Ella from fullback.
Well, this could be the difference. If Campese has a big game, I think, and Coach Alan Jones will have to think long and hard about including him at fullback. We see once he hit that line, he really injected an enormous amount of pace. It was a wide pass. He hit it on the angle coming in, beat Hartill coming across. Peter Grigg did exceptionally well, and the two Queensland centres,
Michael Cook and Andrew
Slack backing up as always, finished off a terrific movement. We'll just look here at the angle that David Campese hits this ball. Instead of coming out wide, he slipped inside the winger, stepped around a couple of players. Peter Grigg doing the right thing, just keeping it going. Again, the two Queensland centres, Cook and Slack, combining together, and great Australian try.
And Andy Slack in an unfamiliar role this afternoon as vice-captain, with Simon Poitevin leading the team in his record-breaking test. Unhappy looking kick there from Michael Lynagh. The difference 1 point. We've had 9 minutes of play. Well, here it is again, and quick hands by the Australian backs, and Campese hitting the line at pace. And Peter Grigg doing so well, showing his experience there. The communication was right. Cook clapped on the pace. He's been a big improver in this Australian side. And Andy Slack crosses for the first try. Michael Lynagh. Campese's going to see plenty of the ball this afternoon. And look at this kick. Well, he didn't get his leg break bounce that time. He'll have another bite at the cherry. Taking it over his head. He's looking for space on the right. Ball went forward from Campese. Japanese scrum.
What happened there? I think David Campese was in two minds. There looked to be a gap out wide. Peter Grigg was there, but it appeared to me he was looking around at the other players, possibly waiting for their call, either to run with the ball or to put it out. He's got to make up his mind very, very quickly what he wants to do.
Ikuta, scrum half. Clears the ball now. Hartill. Japanese very close to the line here. They're almost over. 2 metres out. No try. Held up. Scrum. 5 metres out. Bad luck for Hayashi and Kimura, who combined so well there. Kimura with the white headband, the loose head prop for Japan. What a shock that would have been for the Australians. Okidoi is caught on the short side. Smuggled away by Australia. Referee's playing advantage to the men in gold. There's the ball just sitting up there for halfback Smith. Australia trying to move it ahead. Lynagh got plenty of boot onto that one. 10-metre line.
Look at this again. The Japanese, I think, player tried to jump over Steve Tuynman, and it was a good forward rush by the Japanese side. But again, Australians are there in numbers. A little bit unlucky, and Kimura tried to go for the line, but as referee Fleming said, held up.
Loose play by Australia at the front. Hayashi, the skipper. Brilliantly picked up by Latu, the big Tongan. Japan on the rampage here. Can they get the ball out? It has to be a Japanese try. Well, sensational play here from the Japanese. They've hit the lead. They almost scored before.
But a great run by Hashi. He really set this play up, and intelligent play by Latu. And the Japanese backline were there to the halfback, and this is where I think there's a bit of confusion between the Japanese and also the Australian defence. Andrew Slack went inside for that man, leaving the hole. Brett Papworth couldn't get him.
Kutsuki, the try scorer. Wowee, what a start here by the Japanese. There's Hayashi. Inspiring leader. Back to Latu, the former Tongan international. And then quick hands across the line by Japan. This is where there was a bit
of confusion. Andrew Slack went in for that inside man and unfortunately let Kutsuki straight through for the try.
Well, Japan playing to their potential this afternoon. They haven't really done that so far in the tournament. It's only early days, 13 minutes gone, but who would have imagined a scoreboard would saw them ahead by 9-4 if this kick goes over? The Japanese fans are delirious behind the goalposts, and why wouldn't they be? Great work here by the number 8, Latu. The two Tongans back in the Japanese side this afternoon, and look at the strength of the man to stay on his feet. Nice pass by the halfback Okuda.
And that's where the confusion was. I don't think the Japanese quite knew what was happening, but they ended up with the try.
Nofumuli to Hirao. 30 metres out from the Japanese goal line. Australia already assured of a quarter-final spot. Hayashi has done well so far. The Japanese are really worrying Australia when they get the ball out wide. Campese just settling things down now. And that's a fine kick.
Well, that was good play from Campese. A few of the people in the crowd booed his decision to go behind, but when you can respond like that, I think it quietened him up.
Japan leading by 9 points to 4. Remembering that Japan was beaten in the Asian Championship by Korea, and Australia beat Korea recently before the World Cup by 65 points to 18. David Cody with Rodriguez. Cody number 7. Brian Smith has it. Lynagh cut out now to Slack. Here's Burke, and this is Grigg. Back inside to Lynagh. Loose pass. Australians getting a bit sloppy here. Japan bustling. Tuynman. Oh, tremendous strength from the Australian captain. Japan offside. Well, Australia desperately needs a 3-pointer here. Japan in the lead by 5.
The Australians quite rightly are trying to assert their authority up front, and that's where it's got to start, not only in today, but I'm sure on the weekend when the Australian team play Ireland. So if the forwards want to take it away with Simon Porting leading, that's okay. They've got to perfect every part of their play.
Michael Cook feeling his right arm.
There was a bit of basketball in this minute. Peter Grigg started it off, went to Michael Lynagh, knew he couldn't take it, but tried to lay it up, firstly for Andrew Slack. He almost accepted the pass, but it went to ground, and we'll try and look here with Michael Cook. Didn't appear to get too injured, but he's already holding his arm.
There's the strength of Tuynman, laying the ball back. Australia set it up well, but a little Japanese man came through offside.
Well, looking at Cook, I think he's coming off the field now. I'd have to say there may have been something wrong with his hand before he went on, because it didn't appear to take any severe knock, but he's holding it away from his body, so it'd be very interesting to see if he comes back on the field.
Well, this could be bad news for Japan, because Brett Papworth is the replacement. And that really is a shame for Michael Cook, because he's been very fired up for this tournament. He's certainly been in excellent form this season, but it looks as though he may have to leave the field. Perhaps it may be just a dislocation. Cook doesn't want to go off. The doctor's telling him he should. And Japan preserves its 5-point advantage. Steve Cutler. Rodriguez mauling it back. Smith's kick has gone about 10 metres forward. Well taken by Latu, the number 8. Cody Back to Reynolds. Australia rolling it towards the centre of the field. Michael Lynagh now. Campese's in. Pass was not a good one to Burke. Grigg tidies up. Matthew Burke seemed to be standing too flat that time. But Campese's pass, not a good one. And the Japanese bustling the Australians into error.
Well, I think David Campese was a little bit surprised at the pace of the Japanese. They closed upon him a lot quicker than he thought.
Michael Cook does not want to leave the field, but Greg Craig, the Australian physio, is telling him he should. It's not worth aggravating the injury.
And we'll see when David Campese gets the ball. He goes for the break, and all of a sudden the winger, instead of sticking with Matthew Burke, decides to come in and took him by surprise.
So the possibility of a broken bone in the arm here of Michael Cook, and it really would be folly to try and continue.
It's an unfortunate for Michael Cook, his first game in the World Cup, and only lasting 15 minutes.
So Brett Papworth coming onto the field for Australia.
Well, could be a good practice for the Australian side. Apart from Smith, I feel this is a side that should take on the back line anyway.
Mark McBain. Cutler unopposed. Tuynman. Japan leading Australia by 9 points to 4. 17 minutes gone in the first half. Here's Papworth, cut out. Now he has it, picked up by Lynagh. Good tackle by the halfback, Ikuta. Campese with Tuynman outside. Australia losing ground. Lynagh. Papworth. Good continuity here. Matt Burke to Reynolds. Excellent support play. Rodriguez now setting the ball up. Australia looking to switch it across the other side of the field. Michael Lynagh. Papworth. Slack with a run around. They're being tackled and put off their game by some very good Japanese defence.
Well, that was all too slow out wide. I've got no idea why possibly Slack and Papworth are trying to do the runaround. Campese should be out wide. If there's going to be any movement out there, it's got to be from the fullback. So we're looking to see a very standard, very slow runaround, and poor Andrew Slack really copped it.
Well, he got a nasty tackle around the head from Gary Hine against the Eagles. And so he doesn't want another knock on the head. But also the Australian backline disrupted with Michael Cook leading the field. Michael Cook has gone to hospital with a suspected broken arm. Very concerned Australian coach at the moment. And I think, Mark, all of these sides really finding the going very tough in this World Cup. There have been a lot of injuries. The Australians are lucky to field a fully fit 15 this afternoon. And a mighty jump there by Sakuraba. Ikuta, the halfback. Latu. Japan work it on the short side. This is the little winger, Okidoi. They keep it going through Ikuta. Well, they're really taking the game up to Australia-Japan. They'll look to spin it wide now. Cut-out pass is good. Nofamuli. Here's Peter Grigg. Slack keeps it going. Japan outnumbered. Well, almost a disaster. But great work there by Grigg to spoil a promising Japanese raid.
Well, when the Japanese forwards are really putting on the steam, they're making tremendous inroads in the Australian side, and it's just unfortunate their backs really couldn't clear it wide.
Australia go for the secondary shove. This could be a pushover try. Tuynman goes down. Steve Tuynman, the number 8, scores from the pushover, and Australia trailing by a point.
Well, this is good work by the Australian side. The scrum stopped. Tuynman held control of the ball at the back, and all of a sudden the second shove, and really once that was on, the Japanese just simply couldn't stop him, and Tuynman just falls on the ball.
So 20 minutes now remaining before half-time. Michael Lynagh has missed with his first 2 shots. Line-out's 5-all at the moment. Australia doing much better in the rucks and walls, 8-3. Australia has scored 2 tries to 1. This kick to put them in the lead. Oh, fine effort there by Lynagh. That'll boost his confidence. His first successful shot at goal, and it's taken Australia 22 minutes to reply and take that lead. Back to the 22. Mukai back with the ball. Going over halfway now. Well, Rodriguez did the right thing there because it was going to land just inside the touchline.
Well, there was a loud Australian, one of the Australian players said, let it go, and Matthew Burke was, but I think Rodriguez knew it wasn't going to find touch.
Halfback Smith, the Poitevin. No, he didn't hold, he held on to the pass. Papworth, 12 metres from halfway. Japan comes away. Now it's Nofumuli, very elusive runner. Japan looking dangerous. Look at this. There's a big line on the left. It has to be another try to Japan. Kutsuki. Sensational try by the Japanese. And they're back in the lead.
Well, that's bad play from the Australian side. Alan Jones all week has been talking about how much the Australians need to control the ball. Brett Papworth took that into that ruck, and all of a sudden a Japanese player come out with it, and it was just inexcusable play from the Australian side. Mooley got the ball, did the great diagonal run in, stepped around a couple of Australian players, wrong-footed them, and really all the Japanese support was there. Campese was coming across, but I think it was Kutsuki again, really busted through Campese's tackle to score a sensational try for Japan.
And the little man, number 6, Miyamoto, delivering the final pass. Oh, that's a bad kick. That would have taken the lead back to 5. It's only 3. And here it is again.
Well, look at it here. It goes out to Mooley. He comes in. A couple of Australian players, Burke and Papworth, were coming across wrong-footed. Miyamoto was there, and Kutsuki. Campese really couldn't do much to stop him from there.
Japan in the lead by 13-10. 23 minutes gone. Campese calls. Brian Smith. Don't take it too easily. The Japanese defence up in numbers, and Topo with a left foot kick out on the full.
Well, I suppose if Tommy Lawton can have a kick, there's no reason why Topo can't have one.
(13 10). Japan contesting very well in the lineouts. And I guess we have to say they probably look the better side so far, which is reflected on the scoreboard.
And in Alan Jones's face.
Mark McBain. First knock on by Japan. Australia are struggling at the moment, but the Japanese side has performed superbly so far. They've really lifted well above anything we've seen in the tournament. Lynagh's kick just inside the touchline. Good work by Mukai. He's kicked that one over the dead ball line.
Well, that's not a bad tactic. Rather than put up the high one and the chance of Australian regaining possession or Campese running it out, might as well put it dead, and Australia have got to give it back to us.
Number 3 there for Japan on the bottom left, Aizawa, the prop. Oh, Hayashi coming through in kamikaze fashion again. Campese relieves the heat for Australia. Some telling punt kicks by the Australian fullback have taken play into opposition territory. Well, what a moment to savour for the Japanese, leading the mighty Australian side by 13 points to 10, and we've had 27 minutes of play. Hirao standing in the tackle. Japan with all the answers at the moment. Nasty bounce for Campese. And a well-judged touch finder.
Would have been interesting to see if the Japanese player let that ball go. He had 3 or 4 supports, and really Australia were in 6s and 7s down that blind side.
The Australian side just hasn't settled down here this afternoon. Steve Tuynman at the back, he lost a head. Untidy work by the Australians. This is the little winger again, Okidoi. Referee playing a long advantage that time, but now bringing it back for the knock-on by Tuynman. Japan leading Australia in the line-outs by 8-6. What a shock that is.
It's an unbelievable statistic, particularly when you've got Cody, Tuynman and Cutler in the one side.
They've cleared it well again from the scrum base. Quick hands. This is Nofumuli. And he did the sensible thing.
Well, the Japanese are just not making any mistakes. That ball was dropped behind them. I think it was Okidoi really came beyond very, very quickly. Didn't try and do anything silly, just put the ball to the boot, and Japanese again attacking.
Nearly 30 minutes gone. Japan leading Australia by 13 points to 10. Cutler reigning supreme at the front. The Australians have marched that ball 20 metres. McBain's pass has been intercepted though.
Set, Mac. 2 hands, private. Shove!
Again, a good drive from the line out by the Australians. Referees playing advantage.
Well, it's very, very rare to see Michael Lynagh make a mistake like that, but it does happen, and I'm sure Michael won't make any more like that.
David Cody now is feeling his right leg. The trainer coming on. This is how he's got a knock on the thigh. But the Australians looking just a little rattled at present. And why wouldn't they be when the Japanese have played so well to score 2 super tries?
Well, that's right. Australia are very unsettled at the moment, but I'm not saying they're playing badly. It's just that the Japanese have come out at 100 miles an hour and are really taking the game to Australia. And I think it's caught them unaware.
Well, Australia has everything to lose against a minor rugby nation like Japan. On the other hand, it's open slather for the Japanese, and they're trying everything. Japanese following, Campese underneath. Mark paid by Mr. Fleming. Japanese keep the ball in play. But Australia still gaining 35 metres, and they had the line-out throw. Australia with a 4-man line-out. Japanese tactics. Cutler at the back. Slack to Cody. Poitevin. Slack again. This is where Japan can be a bit dangerous. And not a good pass to Mukai. And Nofumuli finding touch. But no Australians really chasing that ball through initially.
Well, that's where Japan have been particularly safe this afternoon. The game against England, we saw them try and do crazy things and get themselves into trouble. This time they're not hesitating, they're just clearing the ball.
Spoiled well by Latu. Cutler had the ball plucked from his hands. Japan leading by 13 points to 10. 2 tries to Kutsuki. 1 conversion by Okidoi. He's also kicked a penalty. Hartill finds plenty of open space. Landing centimetres inside the touchline. Hartill from Kobe Steel, former Japanese schoolboy captain. His 15th test match this afternoon. Mark McBain and his opposite number Fujita, 2 hookers. Ball picked up by Hartill. This is where Australia has excelled. Hartill still has the ball. Now he's slipped it to McBain.
Would have liked to have seen referee Fleming just let that go a little bit. I'm sure they were setting it up for another roll. They had control of the pill, and you know, Australia could have finished 30 or 40 yards further down the field.
Liners kept the ball in play. Cody tapped it back. Fujita cleared it. Japanese with a good line. Quick hands required. There's an overlap here. Nofumuli couldn't get away from Burke. Oh, the Japanese outside centre was tackled without the ball, and Burke's going to score a try that should never have been awarded.
Well, it may have been an Australian try, but I'm certain the crowd are letting the referee know just what their feelings are at the moment. Well, the Japanese side did the right thing. Hartill, instead of kicking it, let the ball go. It was good defence by the Australian side. Grigg was coming around, but you'll see Peter Grigg. Mooley was looking for support, but Grigg was too busy throwing him to the ground. All of a sudden, the ball popped up. Burke intercepted a quick pass and set sail for the line to score for Australia.
So clearly it should have been a penalty to Japan for the obstruction by Peter Grigg. He really held the man back, didn't he?
Well, maybe the referee ruled that he was just finishing off the tackle he started. Well, it's disappointing to see the Australian crowd booing Michael Lynagh. It wasn't Matthew Burke's fault that he scored the try.
Lovely kick by Lynagh. And Australia feeling a lot more comfortable now. 16 points to 13.
But just look at this again. Peter Grigg comes around, makes the tackle. Really, it should have finished there. Mooley was looking for support, but Grigg was finishing off the tackle. And Burke intercepted a quick pass, and, you know, nobody in front. Easy try.
Yes, well, the Japanese player trying to support the ball carrier was prevented from doing so. Australia leading by 16-13, 3 tries to 2. Hayashi. 5 minutes before half-time, Cody. McBain. David Campese calling for it. And unleashing another powerful punt kick. Demoralising stuff there for the Japanese. Campese from 122 to the other. Kimura, the big prop forward at the front for Japan. Referee asking for the half-metre gap. Fujita's throw scrambled away. Oh, lovely running here by the Japanese Yoshinaga. Hepworth. Whoa! Look out. Slack. Lynagh. Hirao, the tackler. He didn't affect it. Japan toes ahead. Smith's pass picked up by Hepworth. But the referee's whistle has gone. Ball was knocked on by Japan earlier on, so the referee playing the advantage. It didn't go Australia's way, and we'll have a scrum 10-metre line. Australia leading 16-13. 3 minutes before half-time. Australian hooker Mark McBain, free kick going against him for having his feet up in the air before the ball was put in. Hirao. Good support. Latu bouncing off players. Lynagh. This is Steve Tuynman. Some weak tackling. Rodriguez. Oh! Tuynman and Australia getting in their own way there. They've been working very hard on that particular exercise at training.
Well, there's no way in the world they should have lost control of that. Again, I think Alan Jones was a little bit disappointed with his forwards for losing the ball.
Poitevin the tackler. Cooter under heavy pressure there from the Australian back row. Lynagh. Burke. Intercepted by Japan again. Play on. Poitevin! The captain! Scrum it down. Just a metre and a half out from the Japanese goal line.
Once the big Australian forwards really tuck that ball under their arm and take the big strides, then we'll start to see the Japanese players holding off those tackles.
The Australian scrum would be thirsting for another pushover here. Japanese holding. Smith goes in. Hepworth to Lynagh. Collision. Obstruction there by the Australians, ruled by Mr. Fleming. And what should have been a try has gone the other way.
Brett Hepworth is down after that collision with Andrew Slack. We'll look at this again. Matthew Burke makes the initial break before he's Simon Poitevin straight through, almost scores a try.
Hepworth has had a lower back injury. Hirao. Let's have a look at that incident again.
Look at that, it was crisscross, and in fact, I think it was Andrew Slack who came streaming through. I can't imagine why Brett Papworth was down.
I think he may have got a knock from the Japanese defender. And he was actually tripped over. So a 3-point advantage here for Australia. But a very spirited, committed Japanese side has really taken the game to the hot favourites this afternoon. And they scored one spanking try, their second one to Kutsuki. Half-time. Australia leading by 16 points to 13. 3 tries to 2. But a marvellous second half in prospect coming up here at Concord. I'm going to have something to eat.
Duncan, are we going to be in vision in the second half? So I can take my jacket off? We're not going to do any? Mate, on the... Australian, I mean, it's good play by Japan, but geez, Australia could do better. It's starting to worry me now. As he is, I feel like conflict. Duncan?
Still got a minute and a half before they kick off.
Duncan? Can I claim compo for the cauliflower ears wearing these things all day? Okay, I feel like I've got them. Demand compo. Can I join the union? Which union can I join? Besides the Australian Rugby Union.
Isn't he a fabulous player, Hayashi?
Isn't she a glamorous sort down there? Glamour.
The brunette.
I am. I'd like to work on her.
Mutton dressed up as lamb, mate.
I think she loves me too. Yeah, I don't come that easy though. Yeah, you have to work hard to get me.
He's blaming the TV people.
There's a few down there that you can have then.
Campese scored.
Beg your pardon? How are you, boys?
So the second half underway, and Australia leading by 16 points to 13. Hayashi underneath the ball. And what a mighty match the Japanese skipper had in that first half. Well cleared by Ikuta. And there's nothing wrong with that kick. Taking play well over halfway. Fine effort by Hirao. Number 5 there for Japan is Sakuraba.
Well, Australia will be endeavouring to control the play a little bit better than they did in that first half, particularly try and run up some points, combine the backs and forwards.
Good jump by Ross Reynolds at the front. Poitevin. Smith goes into Moore. McBain is there. Cutler at halfback. The world's biggest halfback. And a lovely kick across field. Just outside the 22.
That's better play for Michael Lynagh. Don't try and do too much. Just play the game as if you're playing next week against Ireland. Go through the motions.
Cutler again got a hand to it. Tapped ahead by Japan. There was a knock on. The Australian forwards looking to make some physical presence on this second half early on. A very good refereeing there by Mr. Fleming, seeing the advantage not going Japan's or against Japan, and Australia has the scrum feed. Lynagh, long cut out, paddled on by Slack, knocked on by Nofumuli.
Well, it could have been spectacular if it came off, but unfortunately Matthew Burke didn't read his captain's play, and the ball went loose.
Hartill flapping on the pace. Nofumuli. Oh, what a powerful runner he is. Miyamoto. Japan losing the ball forward. David Campese. Another hefty kick. 10-metre line in Japanese territory. Well, David Campese has certainly had plenty of action at fullback this afternoon, but a lot of it has been in a defensive role.
I'd like to see him, yeah, I agree with you, Gordon. I'd like to see him come in the back line a little bit more.
Matt Burke back for this one. Campese put under pressure with a hospital pass. Japan could score. They knocked the ball on. Well, the less said about that, the better.
Well, Matthew Burke tried to do the right thing. Unfortunately, the Japanese player was right on David Campese. The pass was a little high. If it would have been nice and flat, Campese could have taken it, either stepping away or moving onto it, rather than waiting.
Strong Australian scrummaging. Japanese front row struggling to stay on their feet. They're looking pretty weary at the moment. Number 1, Kumura, slow to get up, feeling his right shoulder. Not enjoying the scrummaging at the moment, Japan. So 4 minutes gone in the second half. Australia leading by 16 points to 13. Japan not handling. This is Papworth. Good pass by Slack to Grigg. Papworth supports. Nofumuli couldn't handle it. Oh, what a tackle. I thought that was going to be a certain try there, but what a tackle by Nofumuli. I think he's hurt himself too, number 14.
Well, it was good work. He went to pick up that ball, fumbled it. Michael Lynagh came straight behind, looked like he was going to make the clear break, and Nofumuli got off the ground and made the tackle. There he is, the man who fumbled the ball, but also made possibly a try-saving tackle.
Cut out pass to Slack. Campese, the pass was forward.
Well, there wasn't much in that at all. I think Slack would have been a little bit surprised that the referee pulled it up. We'll try and look at it here. A good reverse pass from Smith. There it was touch and go. I would have been possibly in favour of Campese receiving the ball on side.
Well, here's Peter Grigg racing in for an Australian try. Handling laps by Japan. And Australia going further ahead now.
Well, it was a fairly standard mistake by Japan. Peter Grigg, the informed winger so far, made no mistake of that. It just popped up. Good work by Smith. Cleaned it up. The Japanese defence couldn't come across quick enough, and an easy try for Peter Grigg.
Well, that may well be the one that breaks the camel's back. Australia crossing for its 4th try. That's a better hit from Lynagh. So he's really found the target now after missing with his initial 2 kicks. Michael Lynagh kicks his 3rd conversion. Incredible to think that Lynagh averages nearly 13 points in Test matches. I don't think there's anyone currently playing who can boast that sort of average. It's not a bad tactic by Japan, keeping the ball deep over the dead ball line.
Yeah, I agree. Australia should try and counteract that. At least try something different by standing back deep and maybe trying to run it up a little way. At least unsettle Japan.
Rodriguez passed it back beautifully to Smith, and now Lynagh. Off the side. Two on two. Ross Reynolds opposed to Hayashi, and Tuynman and Latu. Hayashi does it cleverly again. Hartill. Big dummy. Japan forward set it up on the 10-metre line. Well, now they're slipping back into their habits of last weekend.
Well, I think the Japanese side are getting a little bit tired now, and subsequently the mistakes are coming.
But it really was almost a mistake-free first half from them. Well, the Australians weren't looking at the ball. Papworth. And this is Mulcahy.
Again, anybody would swear Australian backline combination haven't sighted each other for months. I mean, you know, they've been in camp now for 2 or 3 weeks, basically the same side for the last 2 years. I mean, that's just fundamental football, and they should never make those mistakes.
Cutler again getting 2 hands. McBain has it. He's rolling away on the short side. Now Cody. Cody slips it back. Lynagh. Matt Burke follows. He's danger for Japan. And the man was tackled without the ball.
Look at this again. Matthew Burke receives a good ball and does the right thing, follows through, but I don't think he can get around Okidoi and really try to go over the top of him.
(22 points to 13). The Australians throwing the ball in at the wrong place there. Lost ahead by Australia. Japan have it. Hartill. Here's a lovely little chip kick. Soccer skills now. Spewed out from Campese. Japan ball.
It's good work by Japan, that using the little chip. David Campese is a little way back, but they might as well kick the ball where they've got a chance of regaining it.
Referee telling the halfback to put it in quickly. Hartill. Cut out pass to Mukai. Okidoi. Campese safe at the back, applauded by his teammate Peter Grigg. Okidoi, a quicksilver left winger for Japan. 22-13, 12 minutes gone, second half. Well done by Kimura, the prop forward. Big, powerful man. Cutler. Now the Australians set and drive, as called by Brian Smith. Japan offside at the ruck. But Mark McBain really enjoying his first hit out in the World Cup, Mark.
Well, I've always had a lot of respect for Mark Bain's ability as a hook, and it's just unfortunate with Australia have a player like Tommy Lawton, but certainly in amongst everything.
Okidoi is going to have a run. Peter Grigg, the tackler. Oh, he's trouble. Hirao slipped it back to Mukai. They're in all sorts of bother here, Japan. Australia come away. Ross Reynolds to slack. He ran out of support. Burke. Reynolds supports inside. Good pressuring defence from the Australians.
It certainly was, and it was good work by Andrew Slack. Japan could have broken away at any time, and it needed that consistent pressure.
Just inside the 22. Cutler really starting to dominate these second half lineouts. Hartill. This is much better play from the Australians. Smith. Cody supports. Big, strong man. Very aggressive. 15 metres out. Big overlap here for Australia. Offside Japan.
Well, even though the referee awarded a penalty, I'm sure Steve Tuynman would be very disappointed with dropping that.
Here they go. Quick tap. It should be a try. Reynolds. Oh, tremendous defence from Japan. Now they're over. And it's gone to Mark Hartill. But,
well, Steve Cutler's down on the ground. It was almost like an American gridiron tackle that really knocked him viciously.
It may be Ross Reynolds, Mark.
Yes, I think you're right, Gordon.
Look at this tackle here. Oh, from Hayashi. A real shoulder charge, and I don't think Ross Reynolds will be getting up too quickly.
I don't think he knew it hit him. Well, look at it here. Came straight in, just through his body. Didn't even try to make a ball and all tackle. Just wanted to knock him over, and Hartill backing up superbly. Even he was hit a couple of times, ricocheted, and they're still trying to knock him over.
First try, I do believe, in a test match for Mark Hartill.
Well, he could be drinking on that tonight, I'd say.
But if ever I've seen a kamikaze tackle, that was it.
And Coach Alan Jones, he may be having a little chuckle, but I'm sure he's concerned for the state of Ross Reynolds.
Interesting the way Hayashi launched himself and actually in front of the body of Reynolds. It was almost as though he was trying to slam the ball out from the grasp of Ross Reynolds.
He's a bit sick and sorry just walking back there.
15 minutes elapsed. Second half. Just missing. Lynagh has 3 from 6. Australia is exactly double Japan's score. And it looks as though one of the Japanese players could be in some doubt as to his continuing in the game. It looks to be the right winger Nofumuli, the former Tongan international. He's an 87-kilogram dynamo, this man. Figured in that marvellous second Japanese try. A graduate of Daito Bunka University in Tokyo. We've seen a lot of hand injuries in the tournament. The US in particular hard hit. He works with the Sanyo Corporation. Campese not finding touch. Well taken by Okidoi. Look at this drop kick. What a magnificent effort! Sensational kick from 45 metres out by the left winger.
Well, what a magnificent kick, and there Shigi Kano all smiles, can't believe it. And I think it was Okidoi, the right winger. We'll just try and get that replay. David Campese attempting to do the right thing. Unfortunately, didn't quite hit that ball as well as he would have liked. I can't actually see who it is from this angle. Maybe it is the number 10, but certainly from good 45 yards out, I think it was Okidoi, and a magnificent field goal.
So Okidoi, the left winger, sensational field goal. Japan have certainly risen to the occasion this afternoon. The sun may be setting for them on the tournament. Lynagh. Very high one. Slack coming through on Mukai. He was moving. Cody. Australia get this back. They should certainly score on this left-hand side. Matt Burke. Campese calling for it. And he's equalled the world record, David Campese. That's his 24th try in Test matches.
Well, it was good work by the Australian side. A good kick. Andrew Slack, the man who threw that long pass, was the first one to make the tackle, always chasing the ball. Cody picked it up, going forward, the whole back line. And as Gordon said, it was just a matter of clearing it away from them. Australia always had the overlap. Smith did the right thing. Slack, a magnificent long pass to Burke, really cleared it away. Burke stepped around a couple. Campese unopposed in the corner.
And I don't think Campese's ever called out louder for a ball in his life. Burke, give it to me. Well, Burke, with his very powerful running, could possibly have scored the try himself.
We'll look at it again, a great pass. David Campese immediately looping around. Burke did the right thing, stepped in, stepped out, and looked for Campese, and well done. I think David Campese will be really searching for that next try.
$30 points to 16. Australia now has scored 6 tries. Campese immediately in the action again. Look at him go. Oh, a good tackle by Hayashi. This is Tuynman. The hole's starting to really open up now. Australia goes left. Lynagh. Papworth to Burke. Japanese throwing themselves into the fray in defence. 35 metres out. Hayashi comes away with it. Latu lends support. So too, number 5, Sakuraba. Katsuka, 2 tries. Oh, lovely pass to Hartill. Ball proving a little elusive for the Japanese. Tuynman, a solid tackle. Halfway through the second half. Australia by 30-16. David Campese having equalled Ian Smith, the Scot, his world record of 24 Test match tries.
I think the Australians side will really start to throw the ball around. Obviously, Japan are weakening every minute the game goes on, and they've really got to start to open it up. I think he might have packed down in the forwards once in his life.
Now the referee just intervening here because injured players are only allowed 1 minute for treatment on the field, so Japan's going to be a man down. I think this particular player is going to be taped. He won't be replaced. Well, it doesn't look that way anyway. Time will tell. It's the hooker, Campese. Good pass to Grigg. Back there is Kutsuki. And a nice little left foot chip into touch.
Well, Kutsuki's been one of the better players for Japan today. Besides scoring 2 tries, he's made some very solid tackles and always covering in defence.
Japan still a man down. Just out from the 22. Cutler. Easy. Lynagh. Slack. Cody. Straight through Katsuki's tackle. Australia looking for it on the right. Japan spoils. Rodriguez. McBain. Brian Smith. Now it's Hartill. 10 metres out. The try almost looking inevitable here. Break it up, fellas. David Cody telling the referee that that man has been offside all day. And that, of course, is their captain, Hayashi. The referee has changed his mind because the Australians retaliated. Well, they originally went against Japan.
We'll try and look at it here. I think maybe Australia should have scored the try anyway. Brian Smith did the right thing here. Michael Lynagh was coming screaming through. You can see Michael Lynagh go past there. The ball really should have went to him, and Australia would have had 6 points rather than facing a penalty against them. We'll try and look at the incident where Cody obviously was penalised. It's on the ground. Maybe that just start of his right foot then is what changed the referee's mind.
Yes, the Japanese well offside, but the referee ruling Australia retaliated. Steve Cutler again, a soaring jump. Full line here for the men in gold. Here it is. Michael Lynagh, Papworth slicing through. Tap down by Japan. Hartill. And a marvellous kick by Hartill, taking play back into Australian territory.
Well, the referee could have easily awarded a penalty to Australia. It looked like it was a deliberate knockdown, and the interpretations went in Japan's favour.
Well, I think his actual ruling for the knockdown was that it was knocked back.
3-1, 2-4, 2 hands and drive.
Getting well cleared by Okidoi, the halfback. This is Matt Burke. Oh, good tackle. Went backwards. Papworth dancing his way through the Japanese forward pack. Michael Lynagh. There's been some powerful defensive work from Japan in midfield. And Japan again lingering offside.
Australia have got to be very careful. The way the Japanese players have thrown themselves in the tackle, they've got to really go and brace themselves for a heavy knock. Otherwise, we could see injuries. We'll look at Nofamuli come in. Matthew Burke took the ball high, but just went straight in. Great tackle.
Matthew Burke getting a bit of his own treatment back. Australia have it set. Cody's in at 5'8".
Well, I don't know what's going on out there. We've seen Steve Tuynman drop a very easy ball. Maybe David Cody a little bit over-anxious. Really, he was going to make the bust, so he should have let that ball come to his chest, hold hard, and just go forward, rather than trying to be a 5'8".
Well, I think one of the really pleasing aspects of this game has been the magnificent line-out jumping of Steve Cutler.
Well, it has been certainly an improvement, but I don't think it'll be too hard against the Japanese.
Peter Grigg. Here, someone suggested they should be wearing platform heels.
Or elevator shoes.
Campese. Taking no mistakes. Okidoi, a memorable field goal from 45 metres out. 30 points to 16, 14 the difference. England pushed all the way by the United States, and Japan doing the same here against Australia. But Australian player diving in over the top there. Ross Reynolds not staying on his feet. Now he's been penalised another 10 metres for chatting back to the referee.
Well, I thought Simon Poitevin came up to question the referee's decision. Hopefully he hasn't penalised the captain of the side, because he's more than within his rights to make any official complaint.
Well, poor old Steve Tuynman, he doesn't seem to be able to last a game out these days.
We'll try and look at that incident again. Try and see where Steve Tuynman was injured. He went down there, and I think he...
On the ankle.
On the ankle. As soon as the tackle was made, a shot of pain was in his face.
Poitevin just arguing with the referee over that penalty.
I'm sure Coach Alan Jones will be hoping that the Tongans really give Ireland a hard time in Brisbane, because certainly the tackles that the Australian guys have had to take today have been very, very hard. And after playing 2 weeks of solid football, I'm sure there's some very sore boys out there.
Well, I'd suggest that Alan Jones will be lucky to get a fit side on the field against Ireland, with no niggling injuries on Sunday. Okidoi, nice kick, hit the upright and bounced through. "13 minutes to go, 11 points the difference. Japan still well and truly in the game."
Well, they haven't given up so far. I mean, I thought Australia will start to steamroll them, but to their credit, they've fought back. Okay, your penalty just might be what they need to really try and come back and score one last try.
Deep kick goes straight to Hartill. And that is a towering kick back up to halfway. Hartill, a very talented all-round footballer.
I wonder if he'd like to play for the Galloping Greens at the moment.
Set, set, set.
This is the sort of performance we saw from Japan back in 1975 in the second test at Ballymore, when Australia won by 50 to 25, scoring 8 tries to 5. But Japan a lot closer here this afternoon. Cody, and another good hit by the Japanese. McBain mauled it back. Lynagh, Papworth. Here's Campese. Papworth held on. Lynagh. Bouncing off tackles. Picked up by McBain, a very mobile hooker. Smith. Space. The prop forward, Kimura, back there.
Again, a very bad option taken by Smith. There must have been about 5 or 6 Australian backs all to the open side, and there was just no Japanese defence at all. I don't know what Smith is doing. Maybe he was called down that blind side, but surely he should have been overridden and went the open.
Bit of cramp here for Mark McBain.
I think Mark McBain obviously has got a cramp. We'll just see how valuable Mark McBain is to a side. That ball hit the ground and following straight behind. No hesitation, just jumped on it. And well, look here, the old Australian backline are all to the left. Unfortunately, you can't see it in camera at the moment. And there's hardly any Japan players there. And instead, Smith went to blind and put it out in the full.
Hit the referee. No advantage either way. Play on. Papworth. Almost through. Cody and Poitevin combining well. Hartill. Australians with a big line on the left. Poitevin. They'll be looking for quick ball from this ruck. Tuynman. Now they can swing it wide. Campese. Lynagh. Papworth. Cut out now to Grigg. Oh, another big tackle. Tremendous defence from Japan. Nofumuli. And Kutsuki kicking to the left-hand side. Here comes the hooker, Fujita. Campese away from him. Goose step from Campese. And his kick goes out on the full. Well, he did well to get round 2 men.
Well, he did, but it's certainly boring rugby from the Australian side. OK, it was great tackling from Japan, but they should be able to overcome this type of defence by just taking the ball up straight, standing and looping around, constantly keeping the ball in play. Instead, they're letting it go wide. The tackle's made and the play is dying. There should be somebody to take the pass every time.
So it looks as though Steve Tuynman's going to leave the field with an ankle injury, and that could be a very nasty blow with the quarter-final against Ireland looming on the weekend.
Again, I think Smith decided to take the ball down the blind side. Tuynman's been, had injuries all the game, and I think he's struggling a little bit. But Australian side is running it straight across the field. Because of that, the Japanese winger has got plenty of time to come in and make that crunching tackle on Peter Grigg.
Japan caught offside at the line-out. 11 minutes to go on the game. Australia by 30 points to 19. Hayashi calls for it, the captain. Lost ahead by Japan. Slack. He's wrapped up by number 7, Kawase. Now Bill Campbell racing out onto the field. He's going to pack in at number 8. It's a new experience for him. Brian Smith. Here's Campese. This could be the world record. He lost it.
Well, it was just about in his fingertips, but unfortunately just couldn't control it when he was over the line.
Hartill with a deep one. Matt Burke. That's not a bad kick by Burke because it really bisected the Japanese men at the back.
Having seen Burke kick before, I'd say it was pretty good.
Well, the kicking not reaching any great heights at the moment. Ikuta finding touch, though. That was the main thing as far as he was concerned. So Bill Campbell adding more tall timber. And Japan will be very lucky to win a line-out now, I'd imagine. Campbell at the front against Hayashi. Cutler. Hayashi. Geez, tough this man.
Is that a big game?
Hartill driving the Australians back. That one going over the goal line. Australians in front of the kicker.
Well, David Cody misread that at all. He thought Michael Lynagh was going to let it go a lot quicker, and there must have been at least a yard and a half in front of Lynagh when he let go that ball.
So Japan trailing by 11 points. And could they pull off the unthinkable in this game?
I don't want to think about it.
9 minutes to go. They're through. This should be a try. Nofumuli, halfback, not gone.
Well, it was magnificent work by the captain, Simon Tuynman. The Japanese player went straight through the gap, and I thought was going to score the try, but Tuynman really came on and made sure that the play stopped.
Campese. 8 minutes to go. Australia by 30-19. They scored 6 tries to 2.
Have a look at the scan. Latu went straight through, set up the open for Mooley, and it was Simon Tuynman made that cover defending tackle, which really stopped the play for Japan.
Miyamoto, number 6 at the back. And there's a marvellous line-out win for Japan. Now they have it. Nofumuli. It's the hooker, Fujita. Fujita, the hooker, has scored. And look at the Japanese camp. This has been an unbelievable performance by Japan. If they could put this one over, a converted try would give them a victory.
Again, it was good work. The hooker really standing down the block side. Fujita really powered his way over, and if I was the Australian side, I'd be starting to feel embarrassed about this score. It was good work by the halfback. The Kutu really threw it down the blind. 1, 2, 3. 3 tackles, really, and just not good enough.
A vital kick here. He's missed it. So that may well mean Australia is safe from any further embarrassment. Still with a 7-point cushion.
Well, Australia's really got to get serious and knock up a couple of more tries before the whistle goes.
Hayashi again. He's been everywhere. The outstanding player on the field this afternoon. Hirao. And Hirao's tactics have been to kick the ball away from the Australian winger and fullback deep into Australian territory, and they've been pretty successful.
Well, there's been nothing back there. I mean, why wouldn't you kick it back there when you know Australia's not going to do anything with the ball? They're going to just play it dead or not even try and run it back to you. So
Lynagh bounces off tackles. Lynagh loops round. This is Mukai. That's a sensible kick, but unfortunately for him, going out on the full. Australia edging forward, 5 minutes to go. The margin's only 7 points. It's been a fantastic effort by Japan this afternoon. Cody running into Kimura. Big line here for the Australians. Japan comes away. Hirao. And he won't be happy with that kick. Again, Australia driving from the line out. It's probably been the strongest point of their play today. Tuynman setting the example. Here comes Burke. Japan going over. Number 7 there, the man penalised, Kawasi. Brian Smith. Lynagh. Here's Campese. Peter Grigg. Back to Campese, but the touch judge has his flag up.